Also, your top news for this morning, a 29-year-old man accused of trying to rob a motel is in jail. Adolphus Duncan is charged with 1 count of attempted armed robbery and felon in possession of a firearm. Police say he allegedly tried to rob the Super 6 motel on Highway 61 South in Cleveland. Well, this all happened Sunday early morning around 2 o'clock. Police say Duncan walked into the lobby and pulled out a gun. He's currently in the Bolivar County Regional Correctional Facility, and a 17-year-old connected to a hit and run is being charged with aggravated assault. Well, the incident happened on Cherry Street in Grenada. Police say the driver hit another 17-year-old and then drove off. The victim was airlifted to a hospital in Memphis. The driver is currently sitting in a juvenile holding facility. And a 10-year-old boy is dead after his family's SUV collided with a fire truck in Rankin County. Reporter Lucy Deckhaus has the tragic story.
A Sunday afternoon drive turns deadly after a fire truck and an SUV with a family of 5 inside slam into one another on Highway 43 and Carter Store Road. A 10-year-old loses his life, and his 2 siblings and parents, along with a Lake Harbor fireman, were all rushed to the hospital.
There's somebody's loved one out there, somebody's niece, somebody's nephew, somebody's father or mother or son. So it's always tragic when it comes to coming to an accident scene and there's a death involved, because it's going to affect somebody, and it pretty much affects everybody.
Now, a man who stopped to help the family and called 911 says the parents were thrown from the vehicle. Authorities tell us they work every day to prevent wrecks like this.
The hardest part about this job is telling the family member that they love will not be home that night. So we just want the citizens just taking the mind, and just we want them to know that we're out here for their help.
And MHP Corporal Eric Henry says some of the worst deadly crashes happen on days like this one. A sunny day with blue skies.
It doesn't have to be a rainy day or stormy day or ice on the road. It could be a dry, pretty day just as it is today, and you have something tragic like this happens.
Authorities say reconstructing this crash may take up to 3 to 5 days. Lucy Deckhaus, WJTV 12.
Keeping our eye now on the flood water, so a disaster recovery center is available for flood victims in Cleveland. The center is in the Willard R. Samuels Jr. Gymnasium, and that's located at 700 North Chrisman Avenue. Now, the center is being used to help flood victims with different needs. Sam Lockey is the disaster recovery center manager.
We also have the Small Business Administration here. We have the state here with state issues. We have the Red Cross here that will help us with local needs and help.
It is open Monday through Saturday from 8 to 6. And Boris Brandon is no longer the Washington County Buildings and Grounds Director. Well, Brandon says he submitted a letter of resignation last month to explore new opportunities. The Washington County Board of Supervisors named Leon Martin as the interim supervisor of Buildings, Grounds, and Parks. The board also named Eugene Ellis as the interim of Washington County Courthouse Square and Albert Turbyfield as the interim supervisor of the Washington County Convention and Expo Center right here in Greenville.
We've been doing the job all the time. I always was the go-to guy when it came to the parks and grounds. So everyone knows now that it is official, even the people that work with us.
Positions will remain in place until another candidate is selected, and there's a way to erase your criminal record in the eyes of the law. Well, the Magnolia Bar Association is holding its 3rd annual Restoration Day. Expungement clinics will be set up statewide in different counties, including Washington and Sunflower. So the purpose of the program is to help people with criminal backgrounds find work, housing, and public assistance. All of the programs will be held this Saturday, and that's going to be from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Well, for a list of locations, call Simmons & Simmons Law Firm at 662-334-1666. And First Lady Michelle Obama will address Jackson State University spring graduates. Well, the First Lady will deliver the commencement address at Jackson State on Saturday, April 23rd. Before more than, get this, 1,000 graduates, friends, family, and members of the university community. And drones could help farmers in many, many different ways, but farmers are currently in a holding pattern as they wait for FAA regulations. So reporter Meredith Mitchell found out what this new technology could mean for agriculture and the problems operators are facing.
Unmanned aerial vehicles can be powerful tools for farmers.
We're at the cutting edge of this.
But for now, commercial drones remain grounded with regulatory obstacles and privacy issues to clear before taking off.
There's a lot of hurdles that you have to jump through.
Brad Fawcett's business, ARC UAV, has the drones capable of creating change in the agriculture industry.
These things run off GPS, as do the tractors, and there's a way to couple all this stuff together with the right infrastructure so that you're smart farming and efficiently.
Retrofitted with additional devices to collect information such as thermal sensors.
You could see where drainage patterns were in your field. You could see where dead spots or micronutrient problems are in your field. Definitely benefit from a lot of this.
Fawcett has been waiting since last July for a commercial license through the FAA. Without it, he cannot charge for his work at the Dunbar Community Gardens. The U of A Extension Office also met with the same roadblock.
They're really hampering the development of this technology.
Jim Robbins used to fly a drone for the Extension Service, helping agriculture producers in the state through various outreach programs.
Until all of us see what kind of regulations the FAA provides us with for permanent guidelines, we just don't know.
So the Extension Service decided to let its license expire in 2014. That drone now sits in a box.
It's unfortunate that the FAA doesn't recognize that this is an extremely low-risk environment and should probably be separated out and viewed from a different avenue.
Fawcett and Robbins hope those in control can come up with something a bit more reasonable.
We strongly believe that there needs to be in place a strong set of rules, but they just need to be rational.
Well, let's take a look now at your morning Delta Chat question. Is it hard for you to say no to people? Why or why not, Riley? I think it's hard for you to say no to me.
Sometimes.
I think it's probably because of my smile. No? Yes?
Sometimes.
You're like, no thanks. No. Nope. Huh? No.
Edward is our latest commenter. He says, once it was hard, but now the more I live and see how people look for you to tell them yes, but I will then, in a second morning to you all Sunday, my grandmother, Miss Lily Collins, turned 91, almost 100. I'm so thankful for her. Will you and the viewers send out happy belated birthday? One last thing, my name is having an operation at 11:30 a.m. today, so I am everyone to pray for Mr. Joe Edward Bolden and our family. Thanks, love from the Zip, Edward. Happy belated birthday then to Miss Lily Collins. And then Grant Walker says, no, it is not hard for me to say no. Actually, it is very easy for me to say no because people nowadays will take advantage of you, so I learned quickly how to say no. And then Kaji says, it's hard for me to say no to children and the elderly people. They just melt my heart. It depends on the situation, too.
All right. I think Grant makes a good point in regards to some people just want to take advantage of you.
Yeah, that's
what do you think, Riley?
That's the thing. If you help someone out a little bit and then they just keep taking, like, oh, we'll give you that.
Give a little,
yeah.
And then they try to take a lot. Have you ever been in that situation before? It's not good. Yeah. And it makes it hard for you to actually want to be a nice person sometimes, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for those comments. Definitely keep them coming. So let's go ahead and get an update when it comes to your weather, Riley. What does it look like right now outside?
Right now outside, we're into the upper 50s, but we're going to be warming up fairly quickly. Once again, skies will be clear, fairly dry air in place, so that will allow it to heat up pretty quick. Mid-70s across the area. Maybe a few degrees warmer out towards Greenwood, Yazoo City. But on average, everyone should be into the mid-70s. Plenty of sunshine for everyone. Now, rain is heading our way by tomorrow. I'll talk about that after the break.
All right, thanks, Riley. And we'll be right back. Definitely stay with us. You never know what's going to happen right here on Delta Daybreak. We'll be back.